Hey, get ready to talk like a brand and live your best brand life. I'm Peachy Williams, your brand voice builder. Today, we're discussing conservative content and how you can make it work for you and your brand. So, let's get into it. When you think about conservative companies, you don't think that they can be engaging or fun. But when it comes to delivering content, who determines what's good or bad? Let's think about that. Conservative companies have a misconception that just because it's a conservative brand, everything they share will be boring or not engaging enough. So, when you think of conservative, what actually comes to mind? Banks, insurance companies, certain clothing and shoe brands, publications, TV channels, and the list goes on and on. While most people think content has to have shock value, be emotional, or push something to the limit, that's not entirely true. There are plenty of brands that create content that aligns with their brand values, and they still engage their audiences. Conservative content can, and in these cases, does work. Times are changing, and in some ways, their brand voice is too. Now, there are a number of reasons why some brands can't veer off their given path. In certain industries, they can't because they're regulated against certain advertising. Financial services and pharmaceuticals are a great example of this because they have numerous limitations on what can and can't be used in their branded content, their creatives, and their messaging. Another reason may be because of the powers that be. Large corporations and big brands have layers of approval for the content they release. And you'll find that the conservative content gets pushed through much easier than something guaranteed to provide shock value. And in a lot of the marketing departments, they would rather stick with the status quo and go with something they know will be approved rather than push the envelope. So even if a company doesn't have to go through red tape or meet certain regulations for advertising, they may choose to keep a conservative brand voice, which reflects in all their messaging. Why? Because their main goal is to stay in line with the tradition and values of the company, regardless of what changes over time. Now, let's think about a company that may want to remain conservative in their messaging. Maybe they have a conservative consumer base and they want to keep their market share. And if that's the case, you better believe they're going to continue with what's working. You may also find that some B2B brands are more conservative than B2C. And when joining companies for cross promotion, the conservative part comes through because that seems to be what's more important. Things are a lot different behind the scenes. And when marketing to other businesses, the conservative approach usually wins. So, how do conservative brands create engaging content? There are a number of ways that they do this. First and foremost, you'll find them using humor because humor is always welcome, even by conservative brands. For instance, the Allstate insurance commercials with Mayhem and Tina Fey. Their videos and commercials make accidents and the information they're delivering not only educational, but engaging and funny. It's a perfect example of maintaining a conservative approach, but still making their audiences smile. Another one that can't be denied is Wells Fargo. When they created that flash mob in Times Square, it made people not only look twice, but keep talking about it over and over. Again, finance is a highly regulated industry, but that doesn't mean these companies can't be creative with their content. Another tactic companies use is to talk about the data. While talking about data may not be interesting to some, the demographic that is into data, they love it. So that means that blog posts, information, infomercials, infographics, white papers, and everything else you could think of that falls into this category will be a big win. Companies that embrace this and provide spaces that have everything housed in one place are very, very popular. Another tactic, you can educate or solve problems. We live in a time where people long for information. They're always looking to see how to do something. They want to learn on their own. So, where's the first place you go when you want to know how to do something? Most people go to YouTube, right? So, this is a perfect opportunity for a conservative brand and an expert in their field to capitalize on a society that wants to do nothing but learn. T. Rowe Price did a great job of this with their College Savings Chill Out website. And also think about investment companies who are providing content on how to invest and the best places to invest. Right now, those websites and those information hubs are blowing up. You'll also do well with being human because people want to connect with brands on a deeper level. The best way to do this is by being human. Introduce the employees that help make the difference and provide resources on how your company can help them. You'd be surprised how effective the messaging and content for brands many people deem conservative is doing. Why? Because they know their audience well and are comfortable with staying true to their brand voice. So, is your brand at that point? And are you utilizing the power of your brand voice? If not, it's time to get busy. Until next time, check us out at The Right Mix, WRITEMIXX.com.